Hey guys, here is our project using Raspberry Pi to control LEDs using command line, laptop, and smartphone. Let's take a look at what we need for this project. We have 8 LEDs, 8 resistors, 300 ohm for each, wire lines, and a breadboard. So, the electronic part is basically 8 LEDs with their resistors connect in parallel. And the negative port is connect to the GPIO7, which is the ground in Raspberry Pi. Now we will show you how to control the LEDs in different devices. So for our coding part, we mainly have 3 parts. The first one is GPIO.php, which is responsible for updates the status of LEDs and read the GPIOs. And for our index code, which is also written in PHP, is used for receiving data and updating the pictures. So you can take a look at right here. And the last part is script.js code. Its main function is to interact with the users. Now we are going to show you how to control our LEDs using different ways. So the first way is using command line.
Alright, so in order to control all these LEDs that we have, that my lab partners explained, how they are connected and everything. So the first way we can do it is via the command line or the bash. So the first step is how to turn on one LED. So we can just write GPIO write 1 on a specific LED or the pin. So we see that when I write 1 on pin 7, the LED turns on. Similarly, I can turn on any other LED. Let's say I'm using pin 23 as well. So when I write 1 on it, this LED gets turned on. In order to turn off, it's nothing. It's just setting the value to 0, which is actually low, and it turns off the LED, and similarly I can turn off the other LED. So this is the step of turning on LEDs one by one. So what if I want to change all the LEDs in the bash command? It's going to be just running a for loop in the command line. So we are using actually 7, 0, 2, 3, 21, 22, 23, and 24 pins from the Raspberry Pi, which are connected to the LEDs via resistors that are going to be controlled. So first we need to set up their modes to output. So that involves changing everything to out. Now we're all set with all the LEDs or all the pins from Raspberry Pi in the output mode. Now we are just going to set 1 on each LED. That involves the same step as we did before for the single turning on. That just involves writing 1 on all the LEDs, and here we see all the LEDs are turned on. And to turn them off, just repeat the process, do nothing, just change 0 in place of 1. So it's going to be GPIO write 0 on each and every eye, and and done. So this is one way of turning LEDs on and off via the command line. But the actual novelty comes when we want to turn on these LEDs wirelessly through a server or through some specific application. So as my lab partner or my project partner showed the different PHP codes that we developed or implemented, they actually create an interface which is used to turn on these LEDs via a web server. So that those actually PHP files create a web server, and these are the images that correspond to each and every LED that you can see in the video. So when I click on this button, the image turns to green and we see the LED is turned on. Right now we're using our system, our laptop, and we just set up the browser and put the IP address of Raspberry Pi, because the web server that has been created uses the IP address of Raspberry Pi, and we can see this image. Similarly, we can turn on all the LEDs one by one using these images, and we see those are actually buttons, and we see all the LEDs are turned on. To turn them off, we click on them once again, and all the LEDs are turned off. Similarly, we can also do the same thing via a smartphone. So for that, we just need to add the IP address that actually involves 192.168.0.108. Now we see we are in the current state of our LEDs. We just need to tap on one of the buttons, and as we were clicking before, now we just have to tap, and all the LEDs, as you can see, are getting turned on and off as I tap them along. So the cool thing about this is that we don't need any application for specific Java or Android cell phones or iOS or Apple. We just need one web server that can be accessed through any system, any operating system, and we just need to tap or click on them to control all these LEDs. This process can be enhanced or moved towards actually controlling the power strips. So that's all we have right now. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Good night. Bye.